Hello everyone, welcome once again. Today we are going to study a very easy as well as very interesting chapter, that is water. As you all know, water is very important for us to live. We cannot imagine our life without water. Water is a natural gift from our nature. Water is an inexhaustible or renewable natural resource because water is never going to add. And as you know, our earth is 75% covered with water. 75% is already water on our earth. 3/4 of the earth's surface is covered with water, that we have discussed. Nearly 70% of our body is made up of water. 70% of mass of our body is made up of water, and rest is solid matter. Water is essential for life. Water which is fit for human consumption is known as fresh water or potable water. The water which we can drink, which is suitable for our drinking, is called potable water or fresh water. Now, only 2.6% of total water is fresh water. The water which I have talked about, that 75% of the earth is covered with water. Among that 75%, only 2.6% is fresh water. And among this 2.6, only 0.01% of total water reaches humans and animals. So you can see how much less percent water we are getting. That is why we are said to save water. The different sources of water are rainwater, groundwater, surface water, rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, sea water, etc. Now, there are three states of water. Water can live in three states: solid, liquid and gas. Water which flows is liquid. If we will freeze it, it will be converted into ice, which is a solid, and if we will just boil the water, it will be converted into vapor. Vapor is gaseous form of water. Solid, liquid and gas are three forms of water. Now, ice is the solid state of water. Water is the liquid state of water. Vapor or steam is the gaseous state of water. So, this is about water. Next is water cycle. The cycle of processes by which water circulates between the earth's ocean, atmosphere and land, involving precipitation as rain and snow, drainage in streams and rivers, and return to the atmosphere by evaporation and transpiration. Now, let's talk about water cycle. What will happen? You can see if there is some lake or pond. Water is there in this lake and pond. What will happen when the sun rays will come, the water will heat up and it will be converted into vapor. Means the water, first of all, due to heat of sun, will be converted into vapor. When it is converted into vapor, it will become light. It will go in the atmosphere, and when it will come in contact with the cold atmosphere, it will be converted into small water droplets. Small water droplets combine together to form large water droplets. When these large water droplets become heavy due to their weight, so they will fall on our land. That means these will convert into, the vapor has been converted into water and it will fall on our land as rain. So this process is called precipitation. The falling conversion of vapor into as in form of rain on our earth is called precipitation. So we have talked about three things. One is water evaporation, after that condensation, and at last precipitation. So three processes occurs during water cycle, and in three processes, among these three processes, water will be returned to the atmosphere. Now, next one is water conservation. It is a wise and judicious use of water. How can we conserve it? Get leaking taps repaired. If your taps are leaking, we should repair it time to time. Use a bucket for taking bath instead of shower. You use a lot of water during taking shower from a shower. If you will use bucket, you will use limited amount of water. Next is collect rainwater. Rainwater harvesting is the very good way to conserve water. Wash your cycles, car, etc. with the bucket of water instead of pipes. Instead of washing the floor, use a mop. So all these are the different ways to conserve water. Now next is importance of water. Digesting of food takes place in the stomach when food is mixed with water. Unless there is no water in your stomach, your food will not be digested. Important medium for the transportation of food, oxygen and carbon dioxide in the body. When we take food, our food, oxygen and carbon dioxide is transported with the help of water in our body. So it is also important. And in the starting of the chapter, we have discussed that 70% of our body is made up of water. So this is very essential for our body. Water is used to produce electricity. Water is essential for the germination of seeds. Water helps in maintaining the body temperature. So all these are importance of water. Now, excess of water. When it rains or snows, some of the water is retained by soil. It causes floods. If a lot of rain will be there will be flood. It affects the damage, property and endanger the lives of humans and animals. A lot of losses will be there if there will be flood. So this is also a loss and it is due to soil erosion. Next is lack of water. Lack of sufficient available water resources to meet water needs within a region. It is called drought. So we have talked about two conditions. One is flood and one is drought. Flood is there is so much water, that means due to soil erosion, the trees are not able to, the roots of the trees will not be able to hold the water, then there will be flood. And drought will be there if there will be no rain in our atmosphere. And that will also occur because of the lack of green plants in our atmosphere. Next is rainwater harvesting. It is a method of collecting rainwater and storing it for use during scarcity. We can wisely collect rainwater to use it later when we require it. It can be used for several purposes, includes drinking, washing, gardening, flushing, etc. We can use this water for different purposes. Water vapor gets added to air by evaporation and transpiration. Two processes are there by which water is returned back to the atmosphere. One is evaporation and another one is transpiration. The water vapor in the air condenses to form tiny droplets. So this is what we have discussed earlier. First of all, the water heated up and converted into vapor. This process will be called evaporation. And then the water vapor in the air condenses to form tiny droplets. This will be called condensation, which appear as cloud. Many tiny water droplets come together and fall down as rain. This process is called precipitation. So finally, three processes are included for the rain. One is evaporation, another one is condensation, and the last one is precipitation. Excessive rains may cause floods, while lack of it for long may cause drought. We have talked about floods and droughts. The amount of usable water on earth is limited, so it needs to be used carefully. So that's all what we have discussed about water. I hope you liked the video, and for more details stay connected to my channel. Thank you and have a good day to all of you.